Welcome to today's video. This is a B1 level grammar lesson, and today we're going to be continuing to look at relative clauses and those which use the pronoun whose. The relative pronoun whose is used to show possession. It replaces possessive adjectives such as my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. Whose is followed by a noun, the thing that is possessed. I know a boy, his father is a famous actor. I know a boy whose father is a famous actor. Whose refers back to the boy who possesses the father, and whose replaces his. Now create a sentence with a relative clause using whose. You can pause the video, try these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. First one is done for you. I talked to a girl. Her passport was stolen last night. I talked to a girl whose passport was stolen last night. Okay, here are the answers. I feel bad for the man whose wife is sick. I met a scientist whose article was published in the scientific journal. The police arrested the man whose dog attacked a child. I saw my neighbors whose house was sold last week. Now rearrange the words to make meaningful sentences. Again, you can pause the video, try these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. He is the man whose clothing is always colorful. She has a daughter whose hair is red. I met a man whose wife is a celebrity. The man whose car was stolen is at the police station. I know the lady whose daughter goes to my school. This is the child whose mother won a prize. So you can answer these questions in the comments if you'd like. Do you know someone whose house is always a mess, whose favorite hobby is tennis, whose car is really old, and whose clothing is always fashionable? Now complete these sentences with who or whose. You can pause the video, try these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So the comedian who performed at the show is very funny. That is the man whose cell phone keeps ringing. The girl who just got on the bus is in my class. The man who lives upstairs is always playing loud music. That's the soccer player who scored the winning goal. My sister, whose son is 3, works at the hospital. I have a female friend whose name is Ryan. Do you know the woman who just entered the room? Now match the sentences and form a new sentence with a relative clause using who, that, or whose. So the book is about a girl. She runs away from home. So the book is about a girl who runs away from home. What is the name of the driver? He won the race. What is the name of the driver who won the race? The police found the money. The police stole it. The police found the money that the thief stole. And those are their parents. Their son ran away. Those are the parents whose son ran away. Have you met my friend? His office is on Main Street. So have you met my friend whose office is on Main Street? I go to the dentist. Oh no, actually this is incorrect. So this one would be, try that again. Have you met my friend? She is from France. So it would be, have you met my friend who is from France? I go to the dentist. His office is on Main Street. I go to the dentist whose office is on Main Street. John is speaking to his mom. She calls him every Sunday. So John is speaking to his mom, who calls him every Sunday. My neighbor planted a tree last year. It has grown very quickly. My neighbor planted a tree last year that has grown very quickly. Now complete the text with who, that, or whose. Again, you can pause the video, try these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So I met a couple who recently celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. The woman still had the letter that she received from her husband a few days after they met. In the letter, he told her, "I've never met a woman whose smile is as beautiful as yours. Will you go on a date with me?" That night, they went out to dinner, and it was a dinner that they would never forget. Now remember that whose, W-H-O-S-E, differs from whose, W-H-O''S. W-H-O''S is the abbreviated form of who is. Who's coming to the party is the same as who is coming to the party. Whose, W-H-O-S-E, is used to show possession. Whose car is parked in front of the house. But both forms are pronounced the same. Now complete each sentence with who or whose. You can pause the video, try these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So whose shoes are these? My friend, whose English is perfect, offered to give me English lessons. Who's making all of that noise? The new student, whose name I can't remember, sat next to me. My neighbor, who's from Poland, is very friendly. The old lady, who's wearing the pearl necklace, is my grandmother. Do you know the professor? Who's teaching the class? I had lunch with my friend James, whose apartment is in the center of the city. I know a good doctor who's located right near you. So do you think the sentences below are correct or incorrect? I threw my phone, whose screen was broken, in the garbage. I worked for a company whose office was in the town center. Today, many people use whose in this way. However, some people believe that whose can only be used for possession by a person and not a thing. You can avoid using whose for things using different words to say the same thing. I threw my phone with the broken screen in the garbage. I worked for a company, the office of which was in the town center. Okay, in all of the examples below, the noun is not a person, and can you try to rephrase the sentences below without using whose? So the first one is done as an example. He drives a car whose tires are new becomes he drives a car with new tires. So again, you can pause the video, try these on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. The leaves have fallen off the tree that is very old. I prefer to eat at a restaurant with space between the tables. The lock on that door doesn't work. I work in a room with white walls. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.